So this is called Armored Combat. It's where insane people dress up in authentic steel armor with real steel weapons and wail on each other. This is For Honor, a video game that just came out that's trying to recreate the feeling of doing this. These guys are absolutely insane, and they are really getting hurt. Like, you'll see them afterwards with ice packs on. Once a year I go to the Winter Festival, check out the armor and check out the knights. And these guys fly and bus and drive, I don't know, from all over the country. And they're going to go to Russia or Ukraine and do, I think France was last year, and have a championship. Like a world championship of these guys. And it's kind of like watching roller derby, but instead of catching a cute girl, you're catching a 250-pound sweaty guy. You can see the goal there is to knock the guys onto his knees. Once you hit the ground, you're out. Something that For Honor is really, I think, about at heart is going one-on-one and not ganging up on people, waiting for your ally to finish their match before you engage. You can see these guys don't really give a shit. If you can gank a guy, you fucking gank him. Knock him down. For Honor has environmental kills with a lot of grappling. Luckily, these guys can't be wrung out and thrown off a ledge. But most of the goal is to kind of hit him as hard as you can, disorient him, and then, if you can, wrap your axe handle around their neck, choke them out, knock them to the ground. These are females, so it's not just crazy guys, and the girls are just as brutal as the dudes. You can see, just wailing on each other. They didn't seem as hurt at the end, but they didn't play as many matches. I'll tell you, honestly, this is something that everyone needs to experience. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen, and it's amazing. And these guys are all heroes for doing it. Because I wouldn't do it. Like, I think it's fucking insane. Some of these guys are older, too. I'm 30, and I'm not in the kind of shape that I can do it. So here's For Honor, and we'll kind of compare the differences between the combat we just saw, which is still kind of pretend, and what For Honor is trying to accomplish. I really think this is my favorite class. This is the kind of ninja samurai hybrid. He's faster, but he doesn't have a lot of defense. Here I immediately go to disorient my opponent that my teammate is fighting, and then I engage this guy. I think this knight's a little bit better than me. You can see him trying to parry his attacks, not doing a good job. Luckily, my teammate was able to complete their match and then engage with me. You can see I'm out of stamina. That's something that they did really well. I hate it. I hate running out of stamina. I don't like that I just can't button mash. But the truth there is that it's realistic. I mean, if you watch those knights in the previous part of the video, they're tired. They're really tired. It's hard work to wear a bunch of armor and then try to chop a guy to pieces. I think it takes it out of you. You can see the game is based off kind of knowing where the attack is going to come from and then either blocking, parrying, or dodging away from it. The goal really is to parry. If you can parry and then land an attack, you're going to save a lot of momentum and you're going to get the advantage. Sometimes you'll start losing the fight and then they'll spend so much stamina knocking your health down that they'll be disoriented and you can come back, which is also pretty great. There's also a revenge mechanic where you can kind of power up when you're outnumbered.
Round 3.
So I do think this knight's better than me. He's playing the Warden class, which is kind of the Batman class. It's kind of good at everything. A lot of newer players, I think, seem to like it. It's a cool looking guy. It's kind of the generalist in the knights. What I really like about it is it feels like if you ever played Soul Calibur 2, which is one of my favorite fighting games, it feels like the Nightmare character, or Siegfried when he's not evil. He works with stances, he's kind of slow, you have to use a lot of prediction for what your opponent's going to do, and then land a big two-handed sword. And it feels a lot like kind of an interactive, higher quality version of that game. And to put in perspective, that game's, oh geez, like 15 years old now. Still holds up. Still a really good game. You can keep your fucking Street Fighter shit. I'll play Soul Calibur 2. Or Clay Fighter. Clay Fighter's also good. So you're paying best of 5. Whoever wins 3 first wins the match. I don't really want to engage him. He hits me pretty hard because I don't have a lot of health, comparatively. But once I can get him, if I can chain into him, I don't. Yep, he's having trouble. He's having trouble. Oh, then my ally came to help me, and they're like, "Oh, good job, we won the match." And I was like, "Yeah, we did. Teamwork." And that's kind of the 2v2. I think that's really the best as far as if you're going to play a pickup game or you just have 5 minutes to play. That's the way to go. This is a 4v4. Just to show you an example. Here's if I'm going to lure them back onto the bridge. Try to do an environmental kill. There's also power-ups, so I can get health and stuff if I need it. There's also, I think, a damage bonus and speed bonus and a couple other things. You can see here I'm trying to predict this knight. I'm low on stamina. I got another character to face here. These guys kind of scare me. I think this is the Crusader. You would think with the big flail and the heavy shield that he'd be kind of a tanky but slower character. He's not. He's great. And I don't feel like his range is that poor. I don't feel like his damage is poor. I think he's just a good class. I think he's just like the Warden. I don't really know if there's a big difference. Like, your playstyle will be a little bit different as far as how they chain into new attacks and how you'll play them. But as far as quality of a character class, they're both right up there. And here I got a face one. Again, good class. I don't totally get how to block. So I think I'm blocking. I think I'm seeing it coming. It just doesn't work. You have to kind of hit it at the right moment. You can't just deflect. So sometimes it's hard, especially if people change where they're attacking from, and you have to kind of keep that in mind. It's challenging. 2 really good players could probably go at it for quite some time before anyone actually lands a hit. And I think that's a big part of it, is kind of parrying and then contacting your opponent. Here, I'm doing a zone attack here. I hit them both. That was a fucking mistake. I get gang raped right there. Here's another example of kind of the Warden fighting the Crusader. Both good classes. Both really capable. You have to be careful with friendly fire. You can hit your allies. If you watch the previous part of the video with the knights fighting and armored combat, they have the same problem. You can't see in those helmets and you'll hit each other. You're swinging swords around. Historically, they used to talk about drift. So as you're swinging a sword with your right hand and protecting yourself with your left hand, you'll start favoring the shields of your partner and avoiding the sword of the other guy next to you. So whole ranks of infantry would shift throughout combat. And then you'd be careful you didn't get enveloped from the side if they shifted too far. Interesting historical tidbit. You can keep that one. If this country doesn't go so great and we have World War III and we got to go back to more primitive technology, keep that in mind. Yeah, didn't crush it there. So I think we've lost the first 2. So this is our last chance. If they win, we lose. Uh-oh. Fighting 2 guys. hard to do. Hard to do. So I'm waiting here for a revive. If my ally will come save me. Honestly, you're better off running away if you can, rather than engaging and losing a fight. You're not good to anybody dead. In total, I really think For Honor is a good game. It's got a map you're fighting over with the 3 factions. It feels very much like Soul Calibur 2. The stamina is a little rough to get used to, and so much of the game is timing, which you can only learn from playing the game until it's kind of subconscious, and you can kind of get that rhythm down. Pick a main, pick a class you really like, and stick with it, and get really good at that first. I know it's tempting to try everything, because there's so many to pick from, but if you don't focus, you're never going to excel. It's better that you're a benefit to your team than well-rounded. There's no benefit to being a jack of all trades. You really want to be good. Thanks for listening to my review. I hope you guys like it. I like For Honor a lot. I don't know. Like, if you red box it for a couple days, you probably won't like it because you didn't play it long enough and you don't have that kind of tempo down. So if you want to play it, you got to commit to it. I mean, that's the reality of this kind of game. If you just want to check it out, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to get wrecked. So if you want to play a game like this, you have to go 100% in. If you're not going to do that, you're not going to like it.